What's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video I have a little bag reveal, as you can tell from the title, and a chatty little walkthrough on my process when it comes to shopping pre-loved pieces online. And I wanted to just include some tips and tricks, things to look out for when you are shopping pre-loved pieces. That's our quick little rundown of what you can expect from today's video. If you're new here, my name is Alyssa Lenore, and I do these kinds of luxury fashion related videos on Thursdays. On Mondays, I upload vlogs where you can get a glimpse into my daily life. And if you like the vibe, you like the energy, please hit that subscribe button as well as notifications bell so that you know when I post new videos. And let's get started. So we're gonna kick things off with the bag reveal. This is something that I found on the Rebag website a few weeks ago during their summer sale, and I was looking at it the entire sale period. I don't even know how long it was running, but it was 15% off and nothing was excluded. So that means Chanel, Hermes, you name it, it was part of the sale. I spotted this and it was already a pretty solid price on its own, but then with the 15% off, it felt like a really great deal based on my research for this particular bag. Also, I did end up letting go of my jumbo for this bag. So without further ado, let's just get right to it. As you can see, there isn't a dust bag that came with the bag, which might have affected the price, but added to my collection is a vintage Hermes Kelly Cellier in box calfskin in a size 32. And it is about 20 years old. It is the two-way with the strap and the additional D-rings, because there are some vintage ones that don't come with this additional D-ring for a strap, but you could still add it to the top handle if you wanted to. For its condition, for how old it is, this is 20 years old. It's a 2001. I thought it was amazing, and I also just really love the vintage box Kellys because seeing them a little bit more worn and aged and used just adds to how beautiful they are. And I also really love the structure of the Cellier. So this is in a size 32, which I was worried was going to be too big for me. But because my Birkin is in a 30, I knew that I could wear this well, especially with my more layered pieces in terms of having it against a coat or a trench. And with fall just right around the corner, I thought that this was absolutely beautiful. So still sticking to my rule of one bag in, one bag out. And yeah, I just think she is absolutely stunning. So this is the bag. You can see a little bit of scratches when it is in direct sunlight, but when you are purchasing a pre-loved piece, the first thing that I like to look at are the corners, because they will talk about the wear of the corners in the description. So I did keep an eye on that. And I was also super confident purchasing from Rebag because of their return period. And also Rebag has stores in New York. They actually have multiple locations, and I could easily return it if it didn't live up to my expectations, but it did, and I think she's absolutely beautiful. I'll include some mod shots to show how I style it and how it looks against my frame. I will say that getting into the Kelly is not as easy as it is getting into the Birkin 30, but that's because I wear the Birkin a little bit more opened up. But with the Kelly, you do want to always kind of keep this part closed just because of the way the bag can be carried. The interior is actually pretty good for its age. I don't see any kinds of serious issues or marks inside. There are two pockets on this side over here, and then there is a zip in the back. With the bag, I did get a certificate of authenticity that it has been inspected by Rebag. And I believe with Hermes, as long as a piece has not been treated by another repair shop or leather spa, they are able to take it in and do repairs on it if it needs that kind of attention. Hardware definitely has some scuffs on it, but I mean, I think with a vintage bag, it is a lot easier to wear it because you know it's already been through quite some time. So this is the new addition to my collection. This is 20 years old. It is 2001. So with the pieces that I sold from my collection, I was able to get this one, and I think it is just absolutely beautiful. I did measure it against the Birkin, and the Birkin is just falls a little bit shorter, obviously, because the Birkin is 30 centimeters. The Cellier is so sturdy and it feels really, really solid. I love the structure of it, And personally for me, I think the Kellys are stunning in the Cellier. And now I will walk you through my process when it comes to shopping pre-loved pieces online. This was the first time that I purchased from Rebag. What I have noticed with Rebag is that they often do sales ranging from 10 to 15% off. If you are on the hunt for something in particular, I'd say just like hold off until one of their other sales come around, because they do happen pretty often. I think the past weekend, they just had another one for 10% off, and I shared that on my stories. So I'll be sure to keep you guys posted if I find another 15% off sale with them. But again, I just think this is absolutely beautiful for 20 years old. I have found a good amount of pieces from the RealReal, and I think some other ones are from Farfetch and StockX. My book tote and my mini saddle is from StockX. I believe this one was my first pre-loved bag, and I got this one. Both of these bags were from 2018. I feel like after 2018, the pre-loved market just really jumped in pricing starting 2019. I got this one in January, and this is a 2004 classic flap. And being 2004, this one I think is the mid 90s. Both of these are still 24 karat gold plated hardware for Chanel. Around 2008, they stopped doing the 24 karat gold plated, which I think is pretty ridiculous because of the pricing that they're at now. You might as well bring back the 24 karat gold plated. But anyways, this is one that I found in store at the RealReal, and this was $2,000 when I purchased it. The Diana, I feel like I got a hold of this bag before Diana's became the really popular vintage style. This one was $17.95 on the RealReal, and this one I saw online and pulled the trigger because I thought it was absolutely beautiful. It does have some wear on the corners now from my use of it, but it is just one of the bags I would probably send in to leather surgeons to get retreated. I mean, I love these pre-loved pieces because I really don't have to worry too much about them. This one is obviously like more than 20 years old. This one is a little bit under 20 years old, and they've already been through a lot. So I know that I can be not necessarily like super careless with it, obviously, but I don't need to baby it because I know they've been through some time. These are the two pieces that I found on the RealReal. If you are in the New York area, there are stores for Rebag and the RealReal, and it's a great way for you to see bags in person. If you are only shopping online, there are a couple of things to look out for. So my top 3 sites that I like to browse are RealReal, Fashionphile, and Rebag. And I'm often browsing these sites because, again, I have sister-in-laws and friends that are looking for particular bags, and I just like to keep an eye out and also see what is reselling on the market for more than retail, what just came out and happens to be on those retail websites. So I'm always trying to gather some information, and then sometimes I just come across something and I end up pulling the trigger. So now we'll do a little walkthrough of how I browse these websites. So I'm gonna pull up Rebag because that's where I found the Kelly at, and we're just gonna go by designer and see what they have. Let's go to bags, then narrow it down by designer. So the ones I typically like to look at for pre-loved are Hermes and Chanel, just because I feel like these pieces can be a hit or miss on the resale market. Sometimes if a bag is a super hot color and it is super hard to get your hands on, it will sell for a lot more on the resale market. But if you are looking for a vintage piece or it's a little bit older and definitely used, then it could be a little bit under retail. Unicorn bags, forget about it. They go for such a high premium, and I just think it's for sure insane. Your best bet if you are looking for these unicorn bags or super hard to find bags, check when the runway collections are released. Look for YouTube videos of people talking about what's coming up, and if you have a sales associate, let them know and just be like, listen, I'm looking for this bag, please let me know when it comes in, because there are the super rare colors that are really high in the boutiques because of all the crazy price increases, but then there are also those pieces that are already high retail, and then they will go for even more on the resale market just because so many people want to get their hands on a particular bag or color. I believe the one for the current collection might be the gray, so that will probably go for much more than retail on the resale market. But as we're hunting, like say you are looking for a classic flap in a small size, those ones typically are going for a decent amount if you are willing to compromise the, I guess, condition of the bag. This one is a small size and it is $4,000. So for this one, it is a vintage classic double flap bag, quilted lambskin small. Always read the measurements and the price. This is saying that the estimated retail is $7,100. Holy moly, that is correct. Obviously, that is not what that specific bag went for when it was first produced because it is an older bag. It says it's in fair condition, heavy wear, scuffs, creasing, discoloration. So there's a lot going on with this bag for $4,000. And honestly, like, you're just going to have to continue to scour the internet. There are some pieces that obviously you can find and just restore, which could come at an additional price. But always just check to read all of the conditions and also just like really inspect the photos and zoom in if you have to. It's nice that this one still comes with the authenticity card, but again, it is just really dependent on whether or not you see this bag as being worth it for the price that you would have to pay for it. This one is in a medium size. Retail for medium is $7,800. So you're just going to want to really take a look at the condition of these bags. Birkins are always going to be more than retail, and you can get away with finding a good Kelly or a larger Birkin. I feel like the larger Birkins that are size 35 or more tend to be less than retail. If you are willing to take those sizes, they definitely are beneath the retail pricing, and also you don't have to play the Hermes game. Do your due diligence when you are pulling up these listings. Wait for a sale, check if there's an intro offer. Check to make sure when you get the bag that it doesn't smell like smoke, because that is something that can latch onto bags if it comes from a smoking household. Also check to see if something has been repainted or treated, because that should affect the price of it as well. I also love to compare between all these sites and as well as Instagram accounts. It's also really nice when these sites have a return policy so that if something doesn't match up to what you were expecting based off of photos, you can easily return it, get a full refund. Rebag and Fashionphile have great return policies. I don't believe Fashionphile has a standalone store, so that one would have to be shipped back, but it is important to just fully inspect your bags before you take those tags off, because that will be the reason why they won't accept the return, because it looks like the bag has already been used by you. With Fashionphile, let's see if we can find something good on Fashionphile just so I could walk you through something else. Okay, so this is one of those examples where a bag obviously just came from the boutique and has already been posted up for sale on the resale market. This markup is like $3,000, more than $3,000 over retail. So that's what you have to look out for if you are definitely interested in a particular bag. I think that the options should be contacting your SA, because for these colors, even though they're already insanely priced at the boutiques, that will be the cheapest route. The next would probably be a personal shopper, and then after that would probably be the resale market, where it gets really competitive in terms of price, just because they have such a wide audience and they reach so many people. Their prices can really be jacked up. That is the price of a Birkin. Nice. There is this lambskin quilted small flap, and this one says it's in good condition. So this is a better option, I think, in my opinion, compared to the one that we saw on Rebag. In condition, there is corner wear, understandable, creases, scuffs, smoothing of leather, edge wear, bowed base marks, edge wear, scratches, creasing, all pretty typical for a vintage piece. So I mean, if you're comparing this one to the one on Rebag that was in fair condition, this is $1,000 price difference. So again, just always compare and see what you're willing to spend, because I feel like if there is a huge price difference, there should be a quality difference as well. And I feel like quality is pretty much similar for the two bags, but I would pick this one just because it's already $1,000 cheaper. And if a bag does need work, then you can just bring it to a spa. Again, it's not like a specific retailer is better than another. It's really a case-by-case basis for the bag. I know that Fashionphile has a ton of amazing bags, especially for Hermes. They have a insane selection. They get their hands on so many H bags, but I did find mine with Rebag for the vintage box, Kelly. Really narrow down what it is you're looking for, and you have to go through the process like, okay, is the quality worth it? Can I get this repaired? Another thing you can do is also contact them and ask for additional photos and really inspect the bag to see if it is worth the price tag that comes along with it. So that is it for my little walkthrough on shopping pre-loved pieces. Another piece that I actually got that I mentioned in another video is the Cartier watch, and that is a Panthère Cartier gold watch that I have wanted for so long. And I found it for a great price. Granted, it needed to be serviced and I needed additional links. The total cost of it was still way below, like I probably got it for 60% less than the new style that is currently at the boutiques. This Kelly, in terms of pricing, this was listed at $8,500, and with the 15% off, it ended up being $7,200. I just love the way that this looks, and even though it's a little bit more worn, the Birkin 30 that I have is definitely a little bit more casual feeling because of its slouch. The structure of this one is a little bit more dressed up, and I mean, I don't know, I just really, really love it. So I will do a comparison video between the Kelly and the Birkin once I get a little bit more use out of this one. I've only taken this out once. So yeah, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed and found this video helpful. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.